Yes, good afternoon everyone. Akshaj is there, Dinali, Akshaj, you both are there. Okay, Akshaj, okay. Chalo, we can start with the MCQs. Okay, so I'll ask a question. You can think and answer. Watering the crops is called sowing, manuring, tilling, and irrigation. Watering the crops is called sowing, manuring, tilling, and irrigation. What is the correct answer? We are giving a water to the plants or crops. Okay, here not plants, here crops are given. So what is the answer of that? Yes, Dinali. Yes, Dinali, what is the answer? So what is the answer? Watering the crops is called as a irrigation. Okay. Now, Spirogyra is an algae, fungi, protozoa, and bacteria. So what is the correct answer here? Spirogyra is an algae, fungi, protozoa, or bacteria. What is the answer? Yes, what is algae? Okay, and you can check once in your textbook whether it is algae or fungi. Check, both of you. Check once. Okay, chalo. Now next one, alcohol is produced. Alcohol is produced with the help of sodium chloride, yeast, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide. Alcohol is produced with the help of sodium chloride, yeast, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide. Yes, correct. Very good. Next one. Which of the following drug is a antibiotic? Okay, which of the following drug is antibiotic? Insulin, alcohol, streptomycin, and paracetamol. I'm asking antibiotic. Okay, which of the following drug is an antibiotic? Insulin, alcohol, streptomycin, and paracetamol. Streptomycin is a bacteria, okay, which is present in the antibiotic, okay, and they are asking the word here drug, okay, that means as a medicine, so we are using paracetamol. Okay, next one, with the help of with the what help in the rise of bread or dosa dough? What helps in the rise of bread or dosa dough? Heat, grinding, growth of yeast cells, and low pressure. Heat, grinding, growth of yeast cell, and low pressure. So what helps to raise the dosa batter and bread dough? Correct. Yes, correct. Now, the status of an algae in an aquatic food chain. The status of an algae in the aquatic food chain is consumers, producers, host, or small in size? What is the answer? Algae is an aquatic food chain, okay, which is acts as a consumer, producer, host, or small in size. So while teaching, I told you algae is what? Green in color, and they can able to make their own food. That means they are a producer. Okay, getting up to here. So answer is what here? Producer. देतो जा. Okay, now next one. The rod-shaped bacteria are called as Bacillus, Coccus, Vibrio, and Spirillum. The rod-shaped bacteria are called as Bacillus, Coccus, Vibrio, and Spirillum. Rod-shaped. If you open your textbook, on the second or third page it is there. Rod shaped bacteria are known as what? The bacillus, not coccus. It's a bacillus. Akshas, how are you? Akshas, how is your health? Is still fever there? Akshas? Okay. Okay. Bacteria is present in the root nodules of a pea. देखो हाँ, bacteria present in the root nodules of a pea, coli, plasmodium, rhizobium, and penicillium. Okay, bacteria present in the root nodules of a pea, that is coli, plasmodium, rhizobium, and penicillium. Okay, that we know that nitrogen fixers, for that we require a bacteria that are known as what? Rhizobium. Okay, not penicillin, cocci, and plasmodium. Plasmodium is there in what? The malaria fever. Getting that are responsible for malaria. Rhizobium, this plasmodium. But rhizobium, which are helpful, means for the which are present at the nodules of the roots, and they are what? Fixing the nitrogen at the roots of the plants. Getting? Now next one, the microorganism which contain chlorophyll, virus, fungus, algae, and all. Type your answer. The microorganism which contain chlorophyll, virus, fungus, algae, and all. Yes, correct. Yes, Akshay, correct. Yes, correct. Now, the disease caused by the protozoa is called as tuberculosis, polio, typhoid, malaria. I'll repeat. The disease caused by protozoa is tuberculosis, polio, typhoid, and malaria. Which is the correct option here? TB. Okay. Yes. Dinali, what is your answer? Type. Dinali, the disease caused by the protozoa is tuberculosis, polio, typhoid, and malaria. It's malaria, not typhoid, not TB. It's malaria. Check, open your textbook and that table is there, no? There you can check. So typhoid is a malaria is the disease caused by the protozoa. Okay, now next one, which cannot fix atmospheric nitrogen in the soil, which cannot fix nitrogen in the soil. Rhizobium, Clostridium, Azotobacter and penicillin. I'll repeat: Rhizobium, Clostridium, Azotobacter and penicillin. So here which one is not fixing the atmospheric nitrogen in the soil? Rhizobium, so we know that. Clostridium is also useful to fix this. Azotobacter is also useful. Then remaining is penicillin. Correct, Akshash, very good. Okay, Dinali, is the same answer or something different? Dinali, are you there? Okay. Next one. The disease caused by a fungi is. The disease caused by the fungi is molasses, chickenpox, polio, and ringworm. The disease caused by fungi is molasses, chickenpox, polio, and ringworm. So, which is the correct answer? Dinali, I need answer from you now. The disease caused by fungi is a molasses, chickenpox, polio, and ringworm. Not its molasses, it is a ringworm. Okay, by the fungi, that is a ringworm. Hey, check your answers once. Fungi is not responsible to cause of molasses. Molasses is different. This thing that will not come under this. Okay, now next question. Akshay, I need an answer from you. If I am asking Akshay, then Akshay only give the answer. If he say no, then only I will go for the Dinali. Okay. So which bacteria helps in setting of curd? Rhizobium, Lactobacillus, Vibrio and Bacillus. Rhizobium, Lactobacillus, Vibrio and Bacillus. Which is the correct answer? Which bacteria which helps to setting the curd? Yes, correct. Lactobacillus, correct. Now, Dinali, which microorganism causes AIDS? A protozoa, a bacteria, virus, or algae? A microorganism. 1 minute. Yes, Dinali, your turn. Yes, Dinali, correct. It's a virus only. You take cold. Yes, Dinali, correct. Now, Akshay, which of the following disease is spread due to bacteria? Which of the following disease is spread due to bacteria? Tuberculosis, molasses, chickenpox, and polio. Which one is the correct? Akshay, I need answer from you. Which of the following disease is spread due to bacteria? Tuberculosis, molasses, chickenpox, and polio. Which is the correct option? Okay. What is your answer? Chicken pox. Okay, let me check. Uh, Spread due to bacteria. Okay, so it's a tuberculosis, no? Bacteria are what? Spread from the air and they can cause the tuberculosis for other person also. So answer is what here? Tuberculosis, not chicken pox. Okay, so chicken pox is what? One kind of virus is there. Okay, now next. So answer is TB, not a chicken pox. Dinali, now your turn. Which of the following is not used as a food preservative? Okay, which of the following is not used for food preservative? Salt, sugar, vinegar, and methane. Salt, sugar, vinegar, and methane. Which one of is not a preservative? We are not using as a preservative. Tell me, which one is the correct answer here? Yes, Dinali, are you there? Yes, correct. Methane. Dinali, learn the spellings properly. Okay, spellings and all you are very weak. Learn the spellings every day. At least 5 spellings from the science you have to learn it. I think you are losing marks over there. Now next question is for Akshash. The process by which amount of nitrogen remains in the cell in the atmosphere is known as fermentation, carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, and photosynthesis. I'll repeat. The process by which amount of nitrogen remains same in the atmosphere is known as fermentation, carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, and photosynthesis. Okay, fermentation is not the correct answer, Akshash. So now only one left. Yeah, correct, nitrogen cycle. Correct. Okay, now dot 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 are the smallest of the microorganisms. Okay, one that question came. Okay, even Akshash asked me the doubt. Are the smallest of the all microorganisms, that is the virus. Viruses are the smallest of all microorganisms. Getting this? Now next, fungi consist of two main groups of organisms, dash and molds. Okay, fungi consist of main two main groups of organisms, dash and molds. One type is mold and another is what? Fungi. Fungi consist of two groups. Which are the two groups? One is mold, they already gave, and another is what? Yeast. Okay, this is the answer. Huh? Spending money. Subtract that. What? Some other questions I'm taking. Yes, Dinali, now you can tell. Name the two microbes that are involved in the process of decomposition. Name the two microbes that are involved in the process of decomposition. Yes, does anyone know what are the natural decomposers which are present in the environment? We did class 5 also. Some bacteria and fungi are basically used in the process of decomposition. Okay, now name the Akshash, if possible you can type. Yes, correct. Name the first antibiotic discovered. Which antibiotic is discovered? Yes, correct. And yes, define the communicable diseases and give some examples. Dinali, what do you mean by communicable disease? Give some examples. I am not here, I don't want line to line definition, but what do you mean by communicable? You can just line write in 2 to 3 words. What do you mean by communicable diseases? Do you know? Yes. Dinali, do you have any idea what do you mean by communicable diseases and give some examples? Communicable diseases are the diseases, they are microbial diseases that can spread from infected person to the healthy person through air, water and other physical contacts. Okay, for example, cholera, chickenpox, tuberculosis, common cold, etc. Okay, so these are nothing but what? The communicable diseases. Communicable diseases means what? Communicable diseases are the microbial diseases and that can be caused from infected person to healthy person through water, air and other physical contact. Okay, that are known as the communicable diseases. Means that disease get transferred from a infected person to the next person. Okay, for example, we have tuberculosis, chickenpox, cholera, not cholera, but chickenpox, tuberculosis and common cold or flu. These are the examples of the communicable diseases. Can you getting up to here, Dinali? Akshaj? Okay. Can anyone define about the viruses and microorganisms or any microbes? Virus and microbes. Does anyone have an idea? Yes, what do you mean by virus? Or can you differentiate the points? That would be a better. That would be a better. Define the viruses and other microbes. Okay. So do you know anything about this? So viruses are nothing but the living or they are possessing a characteristics as a living organisms, and they can reproduced by entering the host organism. Okay, they are entering into the host organism, but microbes, they do not enter any host organism to reproduce or to show any characteristics of the life. Okay, viruses are non-cellular microbes and they are what? Cellular microbes. Who? Bacteria, microorganisms. Okay, so this is what the difference. And viruses are nothing but what? Do you know the example of viruses? So viruses, AIDS virus is there. Okay, then other microbes, so we know that many. Plasmodium is there. Okay, TB is there. Then many examples we have. Okay, now next one is, what do you mean by food spoilage? What do you mean by food spoilage? Can anyone know about the food spoilage? Yes, Akshay, do you know what do you mean by food spoilage? Food spoilage, it is also called food. No. Dinali, you are wrong. It is not a food preservation, food spoilage. I am not asking about food storage. Food spoil. means it is what get wasted. Okay, the food is what here deteriorates to certain extent that food is not fit to eat. Okay, this is not fit for consumption. Okay, that means there is some poisonous substances are generated, microbes are harmful, microbes are entered into it. So if you are consuming this kind of food, then there is what a food poisoning, or there should be a sudden death can possible. So this is nothing but what food spoilage. The process of food is deteriorated into such extent that it does not remain fit for human or for consumption is known as a food spoilage. Can you getting this? Okay, now next question is for Akshash. What is the role does sugar play in the preservation of food? What role does sugar play in the preservation of food? Do you know anything about this? What is the role of the sugar in the food preservation? Yes, can anyone type? Does anyone know? Basically, sugar which we are using as a preservative, that is very significant because it reduces the moisture which is present in the substances. So as it reduces the moisture, then other substances, okay, other microbes are not entering into that food. That is nothing, that is a use of sugar in the preservation of food. Sugar helps to prevent the slow okay. Okay, actually there is what sugar is there which reduces the moisture which is present in the substances, so that microbes will not grow or they will not enter there. So that is the reason food is a sugar is a good preservator. Getting this? Now next. What? Okay, now next. What are carriers? How are carriers harmful to us? How carriers are harmful to us? Carrier means what? Those substances which are you know those substances or those animals, or we can say some bacteria are there, they are moving from one place to another, or they are moving from infected body to the healthy body. Okay, so that are known as what? Carriers. Carriers take them many harmful microorganisms or pathogens. The they play great role. Okay, carriers are what? They are always playing a great role for spreading of the diseases. Okay, so I am taking in that way as a carrier. Carrier means they are just carries the bacteria from one body to another body. Okay, and they are transferring the pathogens to healthy person. And how they can spread? Actually, suppose if we have a food and that food is what? Kept uncovered, and suppose other house flies are there, they are coming from somewhere where from dustbins. So the small microbes are what? Stick to their legs. Okay, and food is open, and if suppose they sat on that, and that microbes are what? Slowly entering into that food, and the food is what? Gets spoiled. And suppose if we consume that kind of food, then that microbes are entering our body, and that causes the different diseases. Okay, that's what these carriers are what? Very harmful for the body. Can you getting this? Understanding? Can you getting? Okay, now next, what do you mean by vaccination? What do you mean by vaccination? Sorry. Yes, what do you mean by vaccination? Does anyone know? Does anyone know what do you mean by vaccination? Vaccination is one kind of dose we are taking inside our body. They are keeping passive bacteria in our body, and they are also helps to increase our immune system. And suppose any host body is entered in our body, then they can fight with them. So that is the reason vaccination is also very required. And actually, what do you mean by vaccination? It is a process of putting vaccine inside the body of a person in order to produce immunity against the diseases is called as what? Vaccination. Understood? So can you getting this? Now find out the answer. What do you mean by immunity? Check in the body, not body, in the book. Check. What do you mean by immunity? Can anyone type? Okay. Now, what do you mean by immunity? Immunity is nothing but what? Ability of a body to develop the resistance against the diseases are called as immunity. Samar, oh, sorry. So here the question is that the write the two examples of each. Okay, write the examples of two of the given organism or microorganisms. So here first is given. um, just wait. Just wait. Page has gone. Just wait. बरोबर थोड्या वेळाने उठव. Which one of the following is caused by the bacteria? Okay, so they are asking which one of the following is caused by the bacteria. Options are given: cold, polio, chickenpox and tuberculosis. Yes, Dinali, can you answer which one of the following is caused by bacteria? Cold, polio, chickenpox and tuberculosis. Bacterias. Cold is the answer is cold. Okay, now next, which one of the following is antibiotic? Which of the following is antibiotic? Here not asking drug, they are only asking which one of the following is a antibiotic: streptomycin, tetracycline and erythromycin. Okay, and last option is all of the above: streptomycin, tetramycin, erythromycin and all of the above. Akshay, what is the answer? Yes, Akshay, do you know? Yes, correct. Now, bread module is an example of. Dinali, I want an answer from you. Bread mold is an example of bacteria, fungi, virus, algae. Bread mold is an example of bacteria, fungi, virus and algae. Correct. Disease causing microorganisms are called. Diseases causing microorganisms are called. Akshay, I need an answer from you. Antibodies, vaccine, pathogen and carriers. Disease causing microorganisms are called antibodies, vaccine, pathogens, carriers. Which is the correct answer? Correct. Now, Dinali, is your turn now. Is a bacterial disease in a human and cattle. Is a bacterial disease in a human and cattle. Anthrax, foot and mouth, rust and citrus canker. Is a bacterial disease in human and cattle. Anthrax, foot and mouth, rust and citrus canker. Oh, what Dinali? Bacterial disease in human and cattle in textbook also. At the bottom they gave second last page. It is the anthrax. That citrus canker and all there in the okra bhendi, not in human and cattle. Getting checked? No, you are not reading textbook. A bacterial disease in a human and cattle. First, anthrax, foot and mouth, and rust and citrus canker. Answer is anthrax. Getting? Now, next one. The temperature at which, Akshaj, you have to listen the question carefully. You have to write the answer. And if you are not getting Dinali, you should type the answer. Okay, the temperature at which milk is heated in order to preserve is 70 degrees, 110 degrees, 45 degrees, 250 degrees. The temperature at which milk is heated in order to preserve is 70 degrees, 110 degrees, 45 degrees, 250 degrees. Yes, correct. Now, Dinali, your turn. Air contains dot 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 percent of nitrogen. Air contains dot 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 percent of nitrogen. 65%, 78%, 95%, and 80%. 65, 78, 95, and 80%. Yes, correct. Now, Akshars, you can type the answer. Name the 5 groups of microorganisms. Name the 5 groups of microorganisms. Just name the 5 groups of microorganisms: fungi, protozoa, algae, and bacteria. Correct. Now, name any 2 serious diseases caused by the virus. Name any 2 diseases or serious diseases which caused by the virus. Dinali, you have to type the answer. That means, in short, you have to type the answer, those diseases caused by the virus. Yes, correct. Chicken pox and correct.
Malaria, dengue.
Correct. Okay, correct. Chicken pox and polio is the correct. Now, Akshay, you can give the answer. Name any 2 diseases caused by the protozoa. Name any 2 diseases caused by protozoa. Akshay, are you there? Malaria
Chikungunya.
and
Chikungunya.
so keep. Okay, dysentery is also there. The next, Dinali, you have to answer it. Name 2 domestic uses of microorganism. Domestic means at home. Okay, name two domestic uses of microorganisms. Okay, correct. And Okay. In not sugar, it is used in the settling of the curd as well as to ferment the idli batter and all. Yeast is also correct. Yeast is also correct, but setting of curd and fermentation of idli. Okay, these are the uses we are using at home. Means for the means these are the helpful microorganisms. Okay, now next Akshay, you can give the answer. Which bacteria promotes the formation of curd? Which bacteria promotes the formation of curd? Yes, Akshash. Which bacteria is there? Do you know? If you know, just give a thumbs up and then type the name, or else I can ask Dinali. Yes. Which bacteria promotes the formation of curd? Which bacteria promotes the formation of curd? Yes, correct. Lactobacillus. Dinali, now for you. Name the bacteria used in making breads, pastries, and cake. Name the bacteria used in making breads, pastries, and cakes. Which bacteria we are using? Correct. Name the commercial use of yeast. Akshaj. Name the commercial use of yeast. Yes, correct. Now, Dinali, for you. Name the scientist who discovered penicillium.
Louis Pasteur.
Name the scientist who discovered the penicillium. Yes. Dinali, tell me. Yes, correct. Akshash, for you. Name any two communicable diseases.
COVID-19.
Name two communicable diseases. Yes, yes, common cold and flu, fever. Now, next, Dinali, for you. Name any two carriers of diseases. Yeah. Name any two carriers of diseases. Who will carry the diseases? Human?
Give me.
Human is the correct. House flies, no. House flies and mosquitoes, not humans. Okay.
कौन सांगितलं? अक्षत. तेनाली.
The disease carriers are nothing but what? Mosquitoes as well as houseflies. Understood? Now, next one. Name any two food preservatives. Name any two food preservatives. Akshaj.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Yes, Akshaj, tell me the food preservatives, any two food preservatives. Correct. Salt, vinegars, sugar, oil. These all are the preservatives. Now next, Dinali, name the nitrogen fixation bacteria. Name the nitrogen fixation bacteria. Dinali. Yes. Dinali, tell me. Rhizobium. Rhizobium is a nitrogen fixation bacteria. Okay. Now, Akshaj, who discovered the pasteurization technique? Who discovered the pasteurization? Who discovered the pasteurization? Akshaj, do you know? Akshaj. Yes, correct. Now, next to Dinali. Why milk is boiled before the storage and consuming? Dinali, I'll repeat. Why milk is boiled before storage and consuming? Yes, correct. And if we kill this bacteria, then this we can avoid the spoilage of the milk due to growth of this bacteria in the milk itself. Correct. Your answer is correct. Now, Akshay, what do you mean by microorganisms? Yes, Akshaj, do you know about what do you mean by microorganisms? Microorganisms are the small living organisms which we can't see with our naked eyes. Okay, they are maybe unicellular or single cellular organisms are known as what microorganisms. Micro means very very small. Okay, now next, Dinali, what do you mean by virus? Okay, I'm asking for Dinali. What do you mean by virus? This is very important. This definition many times they ask. So viruses are tiny transferable agents that can act as a non-living outside, okay, outside host cell and act living inside the cell and shows the reproduction. Means they can able to reproduce inside the human body. Okay, so they require the host body where they can grow their self. So viruses can affect by all kind of organisms including animals, plants and bacteria are known as what? Viruses. Viruses are what? The small tiny transferable agents that can act as a non-living organism outside the host body, but inside the host body they can able to produce the viruses or other diseases, that is called as what? Virus. Understood? Now Akshaj, next one. Why are viruses different from other microorganisms? Why are viruses different from other organisms? Why they are different? Because other organisms they can reproduce outside the body, okay, but viruses are what? Only reproduce inside the host body, and inside the host cell they can produce, and as a bacterium or plant or animal. That's what this is different from the other microorganisms. Okay, now Dinali, where are microorganisms found? Where are the microorganisms will found? Yes, do you know where the microorganisms are found? Microorganisms are found in all kinds of environments, ranging from cold climate to hot springs and deserts to marshy lands. They are also found in the bodies of the animals as well as humans, and some microorganisms grow on the other organisms while others exist freely. Okay, means they can observe everywhere. Okay, not only air, water, everywhere on the land also, from marshy land, cold climate, hot desert, everywhere they are present. In human body or human body, animal body also they are present. Okay, so how do microorganisms help in agriculture? Okay, how do organisms help in the agriculture? So we know that in microorganisms increases the soil fertility, and just by combining the air, nitrogenous compound and minerals, bacteria like a rhizobium and blue green algae are microorganisms which can fix atmospheric nitrogen in the soil and increase soil fertility, which helps in agriculture. Okay, so basically we require nitrogen at the nodes of the leguminous plants, and they are responsible for a proper growth of the plants. Okay, so microorganisms are actually increases the soil fertility, that combining the air, nitrogenous compounds and minerals to the soil. Okay, so they are fixing what? A nitrogen from atmosphere to the into the nodes of the roots. So that is what we require these microorganisms, and mostly rhizobium is a responsible bacteria for the fixation of the nitrogen at the roots of the plants. Can you getting up to here? So can anyone tell what is the fermentation? Does anyone know what do you mean by fermentation? Fermentation is nothing but what? Process of conversion of sugar into alcohol, okay, which takes place through the action of enzymes, is called as what? Fermentation. Okay, few questions are left, so I will check if I am again if available in the evening, then I will message you on the group. Okay, so thank you for joining. I will end this session now.